the information superhighway, an online network called Internet.
I think the one of my favorite videos that I did a YouTube makeover on was a video about change. I was like, man, I can update this thumbnail like really well. But then I also updated the title and some of the meta tags because I was like, yeah, who moved my cheese? Blah, 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 blah. And it's just like a whole bunch of things.
Doctor Who's not in this title at all.
What am I doing? And so I decided to completely rechange it, and it boosted the views like exponentially. Like it got a huge boost. And I also changed the category to how to.
Right.
The categories is surprisingly one of the most underlooked things.
I wonder if I should change some of the Kamakana categories to how to, because a lot of them are like how to.
Oh, absolutely.
Is that supposed to be playing through the headphones? Oh.
Sure is.
I don't hear anything.
I think you have to take off your case.
No, he didn't have to before.
You don't hear it?
No.
You do not. It might have paused when you.
There it goes. Are we recording? How long have we been recording for? Minute and a half. Did we get the phrase "Who moved my cheese"? Because that'd be a great title for this episode.
Yeah, that I read that book. It's a super old book.
Oh, it's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
Okay.
It's a book called Who Moved My Cheese, and it's all about dealing with change. And the abridged version is basically like if you are inside of a maze and you are like a rat in a maze and you have this cheese.
Of course.
And you have this cheese, and someone moves the cheese to another place in the maze, you can be upset about the cheese being there. You can be upset about the cheese being gone, or you can go to where there is new cheese. And so it's basically just about like how to deal with change and things like that. Just like the silent era had to deal with change when sound came into the picture.
I feel like sound was always there, but it was in different forms.
Right, music, soundtrack.
Do you think, actually, I don't know this for a fact, do you think that silent movies at one point like didn't have a piano accompaniment and it was just a crowd of people sitting in silence watching a movie? That would be horrible.
Yes. I want to say like some of the first films were like that, and that they would have live band accompaniment with it.
That's fair. We should introduce ourselves and the concept of what's going on right now before we continue further. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the online podcast. I'm Scott. I almost said my name is Scott, but I feel like I would catch heat for not saying my catchphrase of introducing myself.
And I am Ricky.
Now, you've been on the show before. Have you been on mic before?
No.
He has.
I have been on mic before. That's right. I forgot that I have been on mic before, but 2 times I have been behind the scenes.
That's correct. We're doing a thing today, I guess, where we only have 2 microphones with us. So, that's not true. We're just lazy. I have to repeat everything you say because I can't imagine the microphones getting them picked up. No, I'm not saying that.
There's a big truck.
Yes. So Dylan is off mic, and he's going to be controlling the music, very similar to what Ricky did a couple episodes ago when he was controlling the music and whatnot. But you don't have... Could you hear the music that you're playing for us? No. Well, great. So at least, Ricky, you could hear all the stuff, all the cat noises and whatnot from before, right?
Yeah, I heard the cat noises and everything.
Is this baby laughter?
No, this is...
Is this like someone blowing raspberries?
No, here, I'll tell you. This is actually the sound of minions raspberrying.
Oh, no. You're right, it is.
That is my keen sense of hearing.
I hate it. I hate this so much.
Oh man, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by the idea of first things, like because like the things that like we as a culture like still use today. It's interesting to me because I imagine like the first time someone farted.
Yeah.
I imagine that it was something that was shocking.
Yeah,
It's just like what just happened. It's just like I don't know.
It was a conversation stopper.
What was that? Like I feel like panic would ensue.
Yeah, panic. Yeah. Absolutely, it would. They'd be like, something came out of my body, and I don't know what happened.
And then it just made like, oh well, I think you're okay.
And it smells like death. It must be a demon.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And so it's so interesting, just like different random phrases and things like that.
Oh, totally.
Like Key and Peele talk about this, just like the concept of people saying jokes that like weren't their jokes. Just like in their bit, they say, "All right, fellas." Like if you're in the bathroom, it's like, "All right, fellas, remember." If it's more than 2 shakes, you're playing with yourself. And he says it as if it's his own joke. But that's not his joke.
Yeah.
But like, who was the first person to like say that joke?
Yeah. I always think about, in terms of first, I always think about names of things. So like when you say something like a catfish, what would happen if that fish was discovered before cat was? What would a cat be called? Would it be the land version of whatever that fish was named?
That's called a landfish right there.
Yeah, or just even like the combination would be like something like jellyfish, where it's neither a fish nor jelly, but it takes the combination of those two names. So if that was discovered before jelly or fish were, what would that creature be called?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That reminds me of a Jim Gaffigan joke. I listen to a lot of comedians, so I just...
What are we listening to? It's just screams right now. We're just listening to human screams.
Sorry,
you can't tell me you don't know what you're tapping on. What does your screen say? This thing. That was called.
It just says...
All right.
Wow, that's impressive. It's very light.
Yeah, it is very light. You could afford to turn it up a bit, but maybe not that much. So what was this Jim Gaffigan thing?
Oh, he said like a scientist, the first time I saw a seahorse, like, and as you see over here, this is seahorse, and that is the male. Oh, it's giving birth.
Yes, that's right.
Well, the male has the babies. No question here. Moving along.
Oh man.
And just like those kinds of things. Like there's a book called "Spilling the Beans on the Cat's Pajamas."
That sounds real familiar.
Yeah, and it's a book that just explains the different colloquialisms and like how we came to like use them. And it's just like, well, back in 1403.
Yeah.
At the end of the line, there's just going to be a mirror and some guy going, Dumbo.
Are we just listening to a comedy routine right now?
Those rides at Disney, they make you realize.
What is happening?
That is great.
No, I had a very similar book like that. And in fact, it might be the real origin of my interest in real origins, because my grandma had purchased a book that was like, it basically described the real world origins of a lot of things, like from inventions to phrases, nursery rhymes, all that stuff. It's a very thick book. I wish I could find it again. But nice. Oh man, I could talk about Tetris as well.
Dude,
but ow.
Let's.
Okay, so I remember somebody saying that Tetris is like a near perfect game.
Yeah.
Because you don't need any sort of cultural thing to understand how to play it. Like any other game, maybe not any other game, but most other games would be something like, Dylan, I can see your finger on the volume and you really want to turn it up as loud as possible. But yeah, like because it's just blocks, you don't actually need any sort of cultural understanding. Like just in a first-person shooter, you need to understand like the political system and like why you're shooting the people that you're shooting and all that stuff, or just even just like, you know, how aiming, like, it's what like Tetris is just blocks. You just put blocks somewhere.
Tetris was one of my first games that I got like good at, because as a kid I wasn't like a particularly good gamer per se, but I went to a daycare after school, and all the kids were huddled around the Super Nintendo, and I never got a turn because like the older kids did, but there's a Macintosh that was right next to the Super Nintendo and this huge arcade cabinet, which I realized is an Aero Fighter arcade cabinet. But they had on the right next to it was this little Macintosh that had Tetris on it, and I just played it because it was available, and I got really good at it. Like I could just like my mind just clicked with it, and I like remember playing like that version and hearing that soundtrack, and it just brought back so many memories, just like of me just sitting there by myself, just like playing this game and like getting good at it. And I just love Tetris.
Totally. It wasn't a game that I invested a ton of time into. I was more so, I guess, I'm trying to think of like a game that I spent a lot of time on. Mostly it was Altered Beast, which is not a great game. But it was that, and my grandma had a Sega, probably Genesis, and she was the best Pac-Man player I have ever seen. As a child, I could maybe get to the second or third screen, right? She would just fly through it without any problems whatsoever, and it was one of the most impressive things I've ever seen an old woman do.
I really I understand like why so many people watch Let's Plays on YouTube, because there's just
that's essentially what this is right now. For all people know, we're playing Tetris.
We are, and we are doing great. We're not clearing away any levels, but we are just playing an endless stream.
Yeah, we're playing it on unlimited endless mode.
Yeah. Well, because like I remember watching people play Super Mario Brothers was more fun than me ever playing Super Mario Brothers. Like ever.
Dylan, are you just bored? Do you want in on the conversation? Yeah? You're not.
Dylan's trying to DJ into make sure that he is in sync.
Yeah. But yeah, I totally agree. Watching people play games was very interesting to me as a kid, because I was never a very good video game player. So watching my brother play, we did like a whole series of Legend of Zelda podcasts recently, but I never played any of the Zelda games myself, but I watched my brother play Ocarina of Time like from start to finish, and it was one of my favorite experiences because I got to experience the story and I didn't have to play any of it.
Man, I watched Grayson, the co-host of the Flashback Flicks Retro Movie podcast.
Nice plug.
And I watched him play Zelda all the way through, and that looks like one of the most stressful games to just have to figure out, because that's something that I feel is so interesting about older games. It's just like you were just thrown into the game.
Yeah,
like, you had the manual, but
continue. No, this is perfect music.
You had the manual, but like you also just took it out of the cartridge and just put it into the game system. Then you'd play, and then you are on a quest.
That's right.
To figure out what is your journey, what path do you take.
You are real close. Yeah. Speaking of old games like that, there was a very old kind of arcade style game called, I think, Smash TV. Does that ring any bells to anybody? Dylan says yes. The premise was that it was like a game show sort of thing, but it was one of those like top-down shooter sort of things. That is increasingly Dylan, you look like you are the most bored human being right now. And I feel bad. I feel like we should pop out another microphone for you. Well, either way, so my brother and I would play Smash TV on like kind of an emulator system, or it might have been like a if they re-released it for the original Xbox or something like that. I don't know. I've come to realize in the past few months or whatever, after I watched a video on it, that game never had an ending. They never programmed in an ending because they never expected anyone to beat it. So the game would get progressively harder and harder until it was virtually impossible. That's the one.
Oh wow.
So it would become virtually impossible, and you couldn't beat it because there was no final ending. There's nothing. They eventually went back and programmed an ending into the game, and the ending was basically just you're in a room full of scantily clad women or something like that, and it's just classic arcade game style.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just remember playing that game endlessly with my brother, being like, when are we going to reach the end? And the answer was never. Never.
Oh, man. Did you,
What is this?
someone singing a song about Rainbow Road? Yep.
Nice.
Oh, my gosh. Speaking of Rainbow Road, so I didn't think anything. I was terrible at Mario Kart and most games, really. But I watched this basically 20 to 30 minute mini doc about speedrunning Mario Kart 64.
Oh, wow.
And basically, people have figured out how to speedrun this course. And so it started from like these people doing an entire circuit, like a 150cc circuit, at like 30 minutes or 35 minutes, like just going through all the courses. And then through the glitches of Nintendo 64, because the Mario Kart 64 is super, super glitchy, you can like jump off certain points and then get picked back up, and it'll register that you went a lap.
Oh, wow.
And so they keep on like hitting these glitches in the game, and it was the most fascinating thing I'd ever seen. I can send you the link.
Please
so that
do.
You can annotate, because it's seriously just so
Yeah,
fascinating.
let's throw it up on screen real fast.
Yeah, you just throw it up on screen. Here it is. You start with http://
I like the idea of writing out full URLs on the screen and not being like link in the description, but just type this in. You cannot copy paste it. It is baked into the video, so type it all in.
Yeah, but it was super fascinating because like I love playing games, and certain games, especially like RPGs, I enjoy those. But the games that a lot of gamers get into, I've never been good at those, just because like I wasn't allowed to play certain games growing up.
Sure.
And because it was just me and my sister who was younger than me, like it was never really fun to play with other people per se. Except for certain games, like two-player games like Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah. But like Smash Brothers, I would always just obliterate her just because I knew how. I played the game more than her, and she's just like, I don't get it. And she started getting a little bit better, but as I was training her, and then ultimately I started playing other people who were much better than me. I was just like, oh, this is what this is what competition's like. But like, yeah, I feel like most of the games that I enjoy playing the most are games that like not many people are like super on board with.
So what would be like a game that you could play endlessly, do you think?
Man, I'd say Tetris. Tetris I could play endlessly. And the Danny Phantom Game Boy Advance game. Yeah. Ghostly Enemy. Or no, Ultimate Enemy. That game. I played that one. I just love. Oh man, do you remember the Ultimate Enemy special?
No. Wait. Which one was that one? Sorry, I'm distracted. The music is just barely too loud.
Ultimate Enemy was the first Danny Phantom movie.
Yes.
The TV movie about Danny Phantom facing his ultimate foe.
Right.
And it's revealed to be him.
Himself, of
in
course.
the future.
Yes.
So basically, him and Vlad.
Was that the one where they collected all like 3 gems or something like that, or was it a different?
No, that was a
movie?
different one.
Gotcha.
But this one was for basically the Time Ghost was just like, hey, listen, I need to pull you out of time. Future you is a jerk, and he. Oh my gosh, I love this.
His molecules got all rearranged.
Phantom, first woke up, he realized he has
red hair and glowing green eyes.
He could walk through walls, disappear and fly. He's much more unique than the other guys. It was then that he knew what he had to do. He had to stop all the ghosts from coming through. He's here to fight for me and you.
Gonna catch him all 'cause he's Danny Phantom. Gonna catch him all 'cause he's Danny Phantom. Gonna catch him all 'cause he's Danny Phantom.
That was
awesome.
fantastic. Yes, good. I'm glad. That was actually one of my. So before I knew the term of cosplay, I cosplayed as Danny Phantom for this. I went to this. It was like a camp in like the middle of North Carolina. And one night they had like a costume night. Ooh. And I went to Walmart and bought every single thing I could to make this Danny Phantom cosplay. And here's what I did. I took these plastic rubber gloves and bought these rubber boots and spray painted them white, thinking that this would be fine.
Yeah.
It was not.
No.
And so what I had to do is I took a saran wrap and just wrapped it, because like the paint wasn't drying, because the way it was like acrylic paint and it was like these rubber boots, and so they were like water resistant rubber boots.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, they're not sticking.
Yeah.
And so I had to like wrap it in saran wrap, and then I had this iron on that I made to make the
For the DP thing.
yeah. And then instead of a wig, I bought a solid white hat.
Sure.
And I had these glasses, these sunglasses that they sold at Walmart that lit up green.
Green.
It
Oh,
was the
nice.
best. I felt so proud of it. It was one of my favorite cosplays I've ever done.
That's fantastic.
Even though it barely lasted the night.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see how our competitors are faring right about now. Now we seem to have Samus up in the ring, and Samus, she is just, she is going for a classic missile blast attack, and the other
that
team,
is deadly. That is deadly, Jim.
Oh yeah, and here's the thing, Tom. She uses that move a lot, and
kind of spamming it. Would you say?
Yeah, I would say.
Just relentlessly.
Just the same attack. Meanwhile, everyone else is in the gauntlet. She seems to be just trying to pick them off one by one, which might get her to the final championship. But I don't know how the fans are going to fare.
Not well, John. Name I forgot already.
Yeah, that's what I named Jim John.
That's right, Tucker. So.
All right, and on today's evening news, we will be going over the election of who will be the next
1800.
Lizard King. Yep. This is the 1800.
The election of 1800.
Lizard King election coverage. We have our man on the floor, Thompson Pennyweather. Thompson.
Let's send it over to him.
Thank you, Thompson.
And back to you in the studio.
Thompson Pennyweather, you are a real asset to this team, almost as important as my constantly changing accent
and name. Aww. We've got a break in the song. With a spin, traveling east. Okay. It's very hard to follow. Sometimes it's too quiet to hear, and then suddenly it blasts right in the ear.
Speaking about a great blast to the ear,
Let's talk about
Q-tips.
What? That should be the slogan for Q-tips, I would say.
Q-tips, a great blast in the ear.
No, because they're not. They don't market them to be in ears, right?
Yeah, you're supposed to be on the outer ear.
Yeah, or sometimes people just use it for like removing makeup or you're applying makeup. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
Or just cleaning keyboards. But I feel like I've never seen them on the packaging advertised that you use them for ears. It's just understood that that's really why you're buying them.
Mm-hmm. And that's another kind of brand name misnomer. Like Q-tip is
cotton swabs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to pick up one of those cotton swabs. You mean a Q-tip? Not unless
Nope.
Not on my salary.
That was actually something very similar. I like observing when language changes. One of my favorite things is retronyms. We may have talked about this before.
No.
Retronyms are when you have to create a term for something, an original thing, because a new thing came out, and that's what people like always refer. So, like an example would be cloth diapers. When you say diapers, you probably don't think of cloth diapers. You probably think of whatever the newfangled stuff is.
Interesting.
So, but cloth diapers were first, so they had to come up with a retronym, cloth diaper, to be like, no. When we say diaper, we're talking cloth diaper, or saying like, black coffee or something like that, or hot coffee, whatever, because that was the only way it was served before.
Right.
But, yeah.
Kind of like Ghostbusters.
Sure.
Just like with the new Ghostbusters.
Yes.
You then have to say, the original Ghostbusters.
The original Ghostbusters. Yeah, it would be similar with like superheroes. You would say like, I'm talking about, like Steve Rogers, Captain America.
Right.
That sort of thing.
Or Adam West, Batman.
Yeah, Adam West, Batman. Well, I wouldn't say he wasn't the first person. He wasn't the first live action Batman, though.
Right. But he was
probably the biggest at that time. Yeah, he was probably like the one that was like when people thought live action Batman during that time. That's probably
yeah. That's interesting. I don't think
there's a lot of examples of that. I think whole milk is another one because like it was just milk and then. And then different types of milk.
I want the whole milk.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yes, please.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Olympic Games. Gotta have me my Olympic Games.
You did this before, Dylan.
I just hope we get the gold. Olympic Games. I'm about to crash.
Here's my favorite part
now
about
this is absolutely gonna get flagged because Olympics. But yeah.
What was I going to say?
The big games? What do we call this?
Oh, I thought that was just with the bowl soup.
Yeah, well, it's for the Olympic Winter Summer Games as well. That's why they have to refer to them as Winter Games or Summer Games.
Interesting.
Huh. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's that. Corn on the cob is probably another retronym because how else would it have come before?
If only I had a cob-based treat.
Have you ever seen? I feel like I'm interrupting your improv like every time I do something. Have you ever seen what corn originally looked like before humans started like selectively growing it and breeding it and all that stuff? It was tiny.
Hello,
tiny,
my name is
tiny.
Dylan. Please send help. I have become mute.
We're getting some weird interference. I'm not really sure what's happening.
Interesting. Yeah. No, I heard something in my headphones as well.
Okay, it's probably nothing. We could probably
Hello.
move past it. I'm not
Hello.
quite.
Hello. Are you talking to me?
Who are you referring to?
Yes.
Oh, hi. How may I help you?
It's a bit of a delay. He's probably in Australia or something like that.
Oh, interesting.
Like
well,
when you're
thanks
in-
for listening.
Julia Bacon Cheese.
A bacon tree? What did he say?
I see. This is not a drive-through. We this is a podcast.
Julia.
Okay, Junior. Oh, you're saying your name?
Bacon.
Oh,
Junior
I see.
Bacon.
You're trying to order. You want a Junior Bacon cheese is what?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we don't fulfill orders, but if you can pull up to the next window, they should be able to help you out.
No.
Okay, that's not how this works.
You're just going to be
sir.
holding up the line, sir. We have many
guests.
I mean, I don't mean to assume your gender, but like,
Give me my tendies.
okay.
You're not gonna get.
I'm so sorry. We don't have any 10 pieces to give.
Yes.
Please, sir.
I think he said tendies, not 10 piece.
Well, we can get you all the tendies you want.
Except 10, because we don't have 10, obviously.
Hello.
Hi. We've been over the hellos, I feel. Have we not?
He's talking to you now.
Oh, he's talking to me now, specifically. Well, because I can understand his need for tendies.
Right.
So.
I'm Scott.
Okay. No, I'm Scott.
What a coincidence. All the way from Australia.
No.
Someone calls in.
You're saying no. You're rejecting the reality that is my name.
Interesting. Wow. That's a bold choice.
My name is Scott Niswinder.
That's interesting. Mine is like that, but it's pronounced way differently.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
What a chance. You guys could be like best friends.
You think so?
Yeah.
What are the odds?
My name is Ricky.
Oh my gosh.
You have too many names, sir.
That is a very long name. Wow. So Scott
I am who am.
to say Bammy Wham?
I am who am.
Oh, I am who I am.
I am who I am. Wow, that's
Okay. All right, that's deep. I thought there were just multiple people in the car.
Oh,
Who
I
are
see.
you?
We've been over this.
Yeah,
I feel.
if you can rewind back.
I feel like you're not listening, and that is hurting my feelings.
I'm listening.
I mean, clearly not. I said that I'm Scott.
And I am him.
So am I.
And we are all together.
Mm-hmm.
Cuckoo Cachoo.
Mm-hmm.
We are Scott.
All of us. We are all Scott.
We are Scott.
Scrot?
We are Scott.
How large is your penis?
Okay.
Depends on who you're talking to.
How large is your pussy?
President Trump, please stop prank
Please,
calling this
look,
podcast.
We get it.
We
You're
underst-
bored.
Listen.
I understand. It's not as easy as you thought it would be.
Listen, I know you're trying to jet lag like from Russia. Just it's
From Russia to Mar-a-Lago and nowhere else.
it's just
You're
please
fired.
please fight.
So I'm fine
You're
with being.
fired.
I'm fine with it.
You're fired.
Are you? You know, I bet he's really saying. He's trying to say it to himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have the power to do that. Just fire yourself at any point
You're
in time.
bored. I get it.
It's like not fun anymore. I get it.
Hello.
Ivanka.
I
Hi.
love your handbags.
I love the fact that you
Thanks.
just agree with whatever anyone else says. That's great. I like that part.
Yeah, agreeable. Mm-hmm. Those are
Hey, fuck you, button down man.
It is a button up, not a button down. I will correct you on that front.
there is a difference.
And I'm not going to ask which one of us has a clothing line for
Eat a
credibility.
dick.
Okay, fine. You know what? I'll take your suggestion.
You know what, Yvonne? I mean, who am I? Who can knock it if you didn't try it?
I love you, black man.
I think that was for you, Scott.
You know, you're probably right.
Bye.
See ya.
Goodbye forever, I hope.
Peyotiv Sapkobska.
What? What?
Herc.
You're just doing nonsense now.
Help.
Okay.
There it is.
Cry for
Help.
No, I get it.
It is a cry for help. I get it.
Were you going to say something?
I was completely changing the subject.
Rudely interrupted by some prank calls.
I mean, that's
by
just
the White House.
That's what happens when they can just wiretap our podcasts and our phones. It's just a complete invasion of privacy. Speaking of invasion of privacy, did you ever cosplay like in your youth?
In my youth, I don't think I mean, it depends on cosplay. I would have probably just called it dressing up, you know? One of the first that I really tried to do was Gambit.
Oh, nice.
And that was because I was very into magic.
Yes.
Uncomfortably into magic. And I loved playing cards. I had a huge playing card collection. And I'm actually kind of sad that I threw a lot of them away. But they were just in a drawer that I wasn't looking at. But yeah, I really wanted to be Gambit. And my version of Gambit, now I'm going to say something that is going to make everyone really hate me.
Okay.
But you have to... I want to express the timeline here. My version of Gambit was the one from X-Men Origins Wolverine. This was before the movie actually came out, and we had images of the characters released online, and I thought, Gambit is cool. I want to be that Gambit. So
I love how just immediately apologetic you are.
Yes. So I went for the what's his name? Taylor Kitsch version of Gambit, and it was fine. It was I found like a leather trench coat at a Goodwill that was definitely made for a woman, and then I got some like a PVC pipe, and I spray painted it silver, and that was my staff. And then I had playing cards that I would throw at people.
Amazing.
So
I want to say I was really into anime, especially.
What the fuck did you just fucking say about me, you little bitch? I'll have you know I graduated top of my class in the Navy SEALs, and I've been involved in numerous secret raids on Al-Qaeda, and I have over 300 confirmed kills. I am trained in guerrilla warfare, and I'm the top sniper in the entire U.S. Armed Forces. You are nothing to
get cut off there at the end, huh?
All right. That's because I buzzed in.
Yes.
What is the Punisher?
That's correct. Yeah,
you are
nailed
nothing
it.
to me but just another target. I will wipe you the fuck out with precision, the likes of which has never been seen before on this earth. Mark my fucking words. You think you can get away with saying that shit to me over the internet? Think again, fucker.
Oh, interesting.
West Wing?
You are correct. That's on the season 2 DVD extra features.
Yes.
One of their bloopers. He forgot his mic was on.
As we speak, I am contacting my secret network of spies across the USA, and your IP is being traced right now, so you better prepare for the
actually
storm.
know who this is.
Maggot.
Snowden.
The storm that wipes out the pathetic little thing you call your life.
Wait a
You're
second.
fucking
Oh my God, it's Jason Bourne! Right?
You're fucking dead, kid. I can be anywhere, anytime, and I can kill you in over 700 ways, and that's just with my bare hands. Not only am I extensively trained in unarmed combat, but I have access to the entire arsenal of the United States Marine Corps, and I will use it to its full extent to wipe your miserable ass off the face of the continent, you little shit. If only...
Liam Neeson in Wanted.
I was going to say his everyday life, but yeah, Wanted was
Yes.
one of them. Yeah, I love that documentary.
That was a good one. That was like him trying to do a vlog, and then it just really escalated.
Hello, everyone. I'm Liam Neeson, and today I was going to take my daughter to the shop.
To the shop. You're
If
gonna
only
take...
you could have known what unholy retribution your little clever comment was about to bring down upon you.
That's right,
Maybe
this
you
is
would have
a
held your
internet
fucking
comment.
tongue. But you couldn't. You didn't. And now you're paying the price. You goddamn idiot.
I don't understand. I just don't understand.
I really thought it was Jason Bourne for 1 second there, and then I remember
some parts
the
of
context.
this feel familiar, but it honestly could just be Dylan pulled up an actual comment that he got. And then
It was a meme.
it was a meme.
Oh, interesting.
Fair enough.
Now, where do you stand with memes?
Oh no, we're not having this conversation again.
Oh,
We had a whole
No
podcast
way.
dedicated to
Copy
memes.
pasta.
Well, then keep this in or edit this out. Completely different question. Where do you stand with image macros?
Image
Memes are the
macro.
death of culture.
Dylan hates memes. Oh, Dylan, we can get you a microphone. We can share it.
I feel like this is, or at least how I imagine
Dylan?
a teenager who wants to
Who's Dylan?
like not be a part of the
Who's
conversation, but be
Who's Dylan?
a part
Oh
of
my
the
God.
conversation.
Stop.
I think it's pronounced Dylon.
You're right. Oh
It's
man.
cyclical.
Oh no.
cyclical.
Stop. It's not even pronouncing it correctly. All right. Now he's doing a local meme. That's the problem.
I'm sorry.
Hey, listen, don't beat yourself up.
Or
Everyone,
do.
everyone makes mistakes.
You more than most.
Everyone has
I
those
cut.
days. Nobody's
Nice.
perfect.
I have to work it.
Name that tune. If you can name that tune, that artist, and that year without using your internet connected device, you will win.
Definitely can't do the year.
$100,000 worth of self-respect.
Yeah, and that is invaluable. So forget about the
Invaluable.
price that we put on it.
That's
that doesn't
right.
make sense.
It's not even a fraction of the worth that you're actually getting if you answer this question correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. 1, 2, 3, 2x. Everybody makes mistakes.
Please tell somebody you just copy
Everybody
pasted the
has those
lyrics.
days.
I think the
Everybody
2x
knows
gave it away.
What I'm talking about. Everybody gets that way. Sometimes I'm in a jam.
Oh my god. There's actually a podcast that I listened to way back in the day called Good Job Brain that was all just about offbeat trivia. And one thing they would do, one fun game they would do, is play song lyrics from a robotic voice like that, but it was like a way more old school one because they just liked the sound of that one better. And the idea was, with no inflection, with no melody, just the lyrics alone in this horribly robotic voice, can you guess the song lyric? And now we're doing the whole actual song.
Everybody has those days.
Is this actually the official one? I really hate it.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Everybody gets that way. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. Everybody knows
And then it's just going up and down. Yeah.
Nobody's babe. Oh, okay. Well, great. No, that's fine.
With that, it's pretty good.
I really, really, really like Miley Cyrus. If I were to kind of put my age into the timeline of the internet, Miley Cyrus was very popular right outside of when I was actively watching Disney Channel.
Hello, I'm Miley Cyrus.
Oh my gosh,
Millie?
Speak of
How are you doing there, Millie?
Speak of the Millie.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Third cousin to
high.
Miley Cyrus.
You're high? Like, are you calling us from the plane? Like in the sky?
That's adorable.
That's great. What kind of data coverage do you have?
No.
Is somebody hijacking the plane?
Oh.
Is that why you're calling?
That sounds adorably
We're
dangerous.
your last call.
So sweet.
I feel special.
Thank you. You
Ask
are.
me yes, no questions only.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I
Why?
forgot to read your writer.
No.
all right.
All right.
Can you leave us alone?
No.
Yeah, I figured. All right. Let's ask a very convoluted one that has like quadruple negatives and whatnot.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. You have 76 snakes. One snake dies. How many snakes are there left?
No.
You are correct.
Dang, that was a tricky one.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It was tricky.
Nailed that, though. No hesitation. That's what was really
Wait.
surprising to me.
You know what? Way to go, Miley.
Millie.
I'm so sorry. Good job, Millie.
Fuck you.
You know, you're...
Millie, I
See,
listen.
Fuck you.
We had this conversation before, Millie. Like what we had
I am out of your league.
was real.
I love myself.
It was also in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't keep doing this. We are through.
I am perfect.
Well, nobody's perfect.
You taught me that. You taught me that no one is
Hannah
perfect.
Montana can suck my ass.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's not very Disney.
That feels off brand for you.
Yeah.
I mean, not
Does it?
you.
Yeah, not you.
But
They're
like,
different things.
For Hannah Montana.
yeah. I feel like Hannah would respond with something.
Hannah Montana's just straight up dead now, right?
I am
Like,
not one of you.
like in continuity, she's just dead. Miley Cyrus took over.
I killed her.
I'm just imagining like the Disney Channel series finale is just like Hannah Montana just faking her death.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I can't handle the stress anymore. And then she just like runs into a train and like, oh my gosh, she's gone.
All they find is a wig.
Yeah.
The finale is her committing.
Committing what?
To her career,
Like
to her self-love,
just dedicating herself to the
committing
to
to
her
her
fans?
craft of music and working as a producer.
It's very vague.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's left open. Yeah, it's the finale. It's left open to the imagination and the interpretation of the fans. That makes sense.
Reminds me a lot of the finale of Zoe 101.
Yeah.
What a cliffhanger.
How did that go?
What was in the
That
letter?
finale sucks.
You bite your tongue. Just because it was a different network doesn't mean that it wasn't good. So basically,
Yeah, tell me about it.
Zoe went away to another school, but she wrote a letter
Yeah.
saying that no, wait. Did they open the letter? I forget. It's been so long. But anyway.
Was it Chase? Was that who it was? Was that the guy's name?
That whole show is a fever dream.
Right. Of
Tommy Westfall.
oh my God. It's all connected.
It all makes sense. I was actually thinking about this on the drive over because that's how my brain works.
Yeah.
I would love if there was a series called the Tommy Westfall Show, where it's just a series of characters from different universes just interacting in these completely mundane tasks.
God.
Like they're just like at the gas station, or you know how like all these characters never use the restroom.
Yeah.
It's just like them using the restroom.
It's just
with
a
these-
line to the bathroom of all of the characters just waiting to get there.
Yes.
The Westfall. I would love like the Westfall experience sort of a thing.
Yes.
Where it's literally just because all of these characters interact. They exist in the same universe. Most of them don't interact because, again, why would they? But eventually they could, and you'll get something. Yeah, you'll get something like a Sabrina the Teenage Witch going on if Sabrina and X-Files are in that same universe, and I feel like that is a natural fit.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But also Sabrina and I think Firefly exist in the same universe as well.
Yeah.
My mind is on Sabrina because I just feel like that would be a fun character to throw into any scenario with any ERs or NCIS or whatever. I can't remember which show is connected to the Tommy Westfall universe, but it's a lot of them.
I would love it if Sabrina just took a hard right and just became
Got
a
super conservative. I hear you, man. I hear
Zora
you.
and Chase went to different schools, and Chase sent her a letter professing his love, and she
Thank
opened
you.
it and went to Chase's school, but Chase had already gone back to Zora's S.
Classic.
TV right.
That was it.
That is a classic trope.
Oh man. But yeah, I would love it if she just got super into politics
Yeah.
and then she used her magic to win the election.
Mm-hmm. It feels like what happened, isn't it?
And then it's just a documentary.
Yeah.
Also,
I mean,
we have 50 minutes, so start to fuck off if you can.
All right, fair enough. I was just gonna say that I woke up the day after the election, was like, "What sorcery is this?" And now I know.
It all goes straight to the top.
Fair enough. So we should probably wrap up the whatever we've been doing.
Oh, but my original thing was going to be that Sabrina becomes a doctor and she tries everything.
Doctor Strange.
Even better.
Okay.
Even better. It's what just happened is one of those things where I'm just like, man, you know, it'd be really cool. Like, what if these kids, you know, like they went to bed and their parents told them it's their bedtime, but then they woke up and like their parents were, like fighting these like bad guys, and they find out that their parents are secret agents. And then my friend Grayson tells me, "Oh, you mean Spy Kids?" And I'm like, "No." I thought I had
of course.
I was like, no, I'm coming up with this idea that I think is completely original. It's just like, yeah, what if this like a mystical, like what if this person was a doctor, but they're also like a witch? He's like, oh, you mean like Doctor Strange? Dang it!
I have no original thoughts.
Follow us on Twitter at An Online Podcast. I am Scott. I am Ricky. I am Millie Cyrus. Goodbye.
Well, the book flap didn't happen. So we can't just end the episode. There's no book flap.
For any of our viewers who have access to internet, we invite your comments.